Okay, this is going to be Jeff Sokol's police interrogation. It's an hour and 40 minutes, so it's going to be a long one. I'll try not to talk as much, but it's still going to be pretty long. So put it on in the background and don't complain in the comments.
These yours, Mike?
Yes.
You know enough, please?
Thank you, sir.
You all set?
Appreciate it, Scott.
Calling when you.
Cool.
There's something so entertaining about this video being in all of like 16 pixels.
First thing I need to do, I'm Detective Kelly, obviously with the Fairfield, Connecticut Police. I'm just going to go over your rights with you. You're willing to speak with me about what happened tonight? Okay.
He's so defeated. Oh my god. It's so satisfying. Especially in light of the last video. It's hard to really make out his facial expressions because the resolution is so low. But you can still tell exactly how he's feeling. I mean, his body language just gives it away. Look at this.
He's being recorded, too. Correct.
He just knows it's over. Is this being recorded? Yes, correct. So what is he thinking? What is he thinking right now? Let's put ourselves in Jeff Sokol's head. What is he thinking? Is he trying to think of what he's going to say? Like, is there anything I can say that can get me out of this? Is that what he's thinking? Obviously, I've never been in a situation like this, so I don't know what runs through one's mind. I mean, I suppose you're processing it all, right? I mean, this is a little weird to be so empathetic towards someone like Jeff Sokol, but it's an interesting exercise, you know. It's I think actually a good exercise to partake in, to try to put yourself in someone else's shoes, even if they're in such a different position than you. And hopefully Jeffrey Sokol is in a very different position than all of us. No one would want to be in his position, that's for sure.
Okay, I just want you to read you can read your own rights, and if you understand them, just initial it. And then we're going to go down here quick and do the same kind of a thing, okay? So you have the right to remain silent, you understand that? If I talk to any police officer, anything I say can be used against me. I have the right to consult with a lawyer before I answer any questions, and may have a lawyer with me during questioning. The right to have a lawyer appointed for me if I cannot afford one before I answer any questions.
Does this interrogator think that like Jeff Sokol can't read or something? Why is he reading it to him? Why is he going? You know what? Yeah, I think I know the answer to my own question. He's trying to establish a rapport really early on, and so he thinks that like doing Jeff Sokol the favor of reading the document to him that he's about to sign is going to get him in his good graces. That's my theory.
The right to stop answering at any time. I may stop answering any questions at any time if I wish to talk with a lawyer. I may have him with me during any further questioning. And I'm willing to answer questions and make a statement knowing that I have these rights. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I know and understand what I am doing. I do this freely and voluntarily, and no threats or promises have been made to me. Do you understand those rights?
So here I think he's thinking. He's thinking, right? does he want to waive his right to an attorney? Because I mentioned this in the last video. I don't think Jeff Sokol's stupid. Okay, I think he's at least of average intelligence, probably a little above average even. I'm willing to give him that. But he's arrogant. He's obviously extremely arrogant. So the two features of his character that are weighing against each other right now are his arrogance and his, let's say, moderate intelligence. The intelligent thing to do is to get an attorney. The arrogant thing to do is to see if you can basically beat the interrogation. I wonder which one Jeff Sokol's going to choose.
Well, I'm probably gonna have to get a lawyer.
Okay. So we're not going to discuss without the time.
You know, figure that out.
I mean, maybe there is a part of him who that thinks he can talk his way out of this. I mean, that could be his arrogance speaking, right? So what are the calculations that are running through Sokol's mind right now?
I'll talk to him.
He does that so like matter of factly, like so confidently, trying to seem so nonchalant about waiving his right to an attorney. That's so funny. You have to imagine how happy the investigator is every time someone does this. They're just bursting with joy, but they can't show it.
1064 on Beacon Street. Promenade.
Brookline?
Yeah, Promenade.
$44?
I'm 44.
And where were you born?
In Brookline.
Brookline, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Birthday?
6471.
Was high school completed in school?
I got a bachelor's degree.
Bachelor's.
Yeah, college.
For read and write, obviously.
Yeah.
Just make sure that when chicken scratch, you could read that. You just essentially, you're agreeing to speak to me, this is you, and Detective Kelly, I have identified myself as a police officer. You have 16 years of education, you can read yes, and you can write yes. And you can just sign here, and it'll be done with that form. And we could probably just kind of start with what happened this evening. I looked at some of the texts, there's several pages. The text between you and the young female, can you just tell me what kind of happened from your standpoint tonight? You're in, I assume, at home in Brookline, and you're corresponding with this younger girl.
Yeah, I was just,
What did he expect? He agreed to talk. What did he think the question was going to be? Like, I mean, I guess it's not like they have anything great that they can say, so there's nothing that they're dying to get off their chest. But it's just kind of funny how resigned he looks when the interrogator inevitably asks him the only question he was going to ask him.
looking to meet her, and I know you're not going to believe me, but I honestly was not planning on having sex with her.
Yeah, no, we're not going to believe you, Jeff. We're definitely not going to believe you. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe not sex, but only if we restrict the definition of sex to intercourse.
I know the texts talk about that,
Mm-hmm.
but it's talk. I mean,
It's talk.
I wasn't planning on having sex with her
I
unless
always say that. It's talk, it's talk,
it
it's
was
talk.
bright and legal to do it. I don't know if that.
And I'm gonna offer a strange suggestion here. I wonder if this might actually be true to some extent. If these socially awkward loser dudes just have a lot more confidence over telecommunications than in person, such that they actually don't have the will to do what they said they would do over text. I think that's actually a pretty decent theory.
Would have or not either, but I was not gonna.
What do you mean by right and legal to do?
Well, I mean, if I, she seemed like somebody, that was mature and, somebody that,
Mature.
that
Mature.
would be fun to hang out with, and
Fun to hang out with.
so I wanted to meet her and find out if she was what I thought she was.
She was mature and fun to hang out with. Those are such. I mean, mature is just him trying to excuse himself from going for a minor because, actually, she seemed like an adult. And then fun to hang around with is just so generic. Like, I don't remember how far Jeff drove, but you don't drive that far. No, it was far because it was from Boston, right? So it was really far. It was like 2+ hours. You don't go that far just to meet someone who you think would be fun to hang out with. Unless you're a sad, pathetic loser like Jeff Sokol.
So, and how long had you been corresponding with her?
Like 3 weeks,
And how'd you meet her?
a chat site,
What was that called?
Wire Club.
Wire Club? Is that, what is that? Is it,
It's
kind of a hookup site or
No,
something?
it's like chat rooms, but I mean, I don't know if it's a hookup site because there's people there that are all
Have
over the
you
world.
talked to people before? Girls, guys, whatever?
Yeah.
On that particular site?
Yeah.
Have you talked to younger girls before? Today? Or in the last couple weeks, rather?
Not that I know of.
And what was the interest in this particular girl? Let me back up a second. Are you married?
No.
Have you been married?
Yeah.
Divorced?
Yeah.
How long?
Like 10.
10 years
10,
or
10,
more?
11 years, yeah.
Any
10,
kids?
11 years. That's crazy. So he was born in 71. This was in 2015. He got divorced in 2005. He got divorced at 34 years old. Damn. That's sad. So what has to happen in your marriage? When do you think he got married? Mid-20s? Was it like someone he met in college, probably? What has to happen in your marriage for you to get divorced at 34? Interesting. I wonder if he cheated. Does he seem like the type that would cheat? I mean, maybe a better question is, does he seem like the type that would be able to cheat? Like, have the option. have people who wanted to cheat with him. I don't know. I mean, I think he's got a kind of slimy charisma to him. The kind of slimy charisma that I feel like a certain type of woman might be attracted to. I don't know. That might be a weird thing to say, but I think he does have a quality about him that maybe could pick up a certain type of person.
What was the reason for the dissolution of the marriage? Anything major?
Should have just
issue
waited.
with the ex-wife?
No.
Or she with you?
No, it was just a mutual.
Mutual.
breakup.
And how about dating and things
Is that
since
true?
then? Do you
I wonder
have
if that's true.
relationships? Have you had any recently?
Yeah, I mean, a few here and there. Yeah.
What was the last one?
I mean, I had a short one over the summer, a couple months.
How old was she?
41.
Adult woman.
Yeah.
Right. Have you,
21.
you know,
Did he say
met
wait,
or
wait, wait.
chatted with? Right. Have you,
41.
adult woman?
Yeah.
Right. Have you, you know, met or
Is this something
chatted
I
with
catch up?
or
He said 21, right?
visited younger girls before?
Younger, yes. But I
What
mean,
is this?
What's your, well, I don't know, younger than me is probably in their middle 20s. From my standpoint, I'm a little bit older than you, but
Okay.
what's younger to you?
That's just frozen in one
I
spot.
mean, yeah, I've dated girls in their
Okay.
30s and 20s.
And I mean, have you, this wasn't, I'm sure, the first time you met a girl who was purportedly 12 or so years old, right?
What would you say?
I said, I'm sure this isn't the first time you either chatted with or met with a girl who was,
I love that
you know,
question.
supposedly 12 years old.
I mean, that's how you're supposed to interrogate, right? Like, you're supposed to like to put the burden on the person being interrogated to like disprove or disagree with you. So you assert you make the allegation as an assertion, and that puts the pressure on them, and so you're seeing how they react to that pressure, and it gives you a lot of information depending on how they react.
I believe it was the first time that I know of.
It was? Is that what you're saying? It was the first time?
He's confusing him with the
You
wording.
may have an issue or a certain fetish or attraction to younger girls. You probably do.
Yeah, I've never met, I've never gone to meet a girl that was a teenager.
Never.
He never uses the word minor. It's so suspicious. Like, if you were not guilty of this, you would have no problem saying, I've never gone to meet a girl that was a minor. But he has to say teenager. He has to soften it.
And why tonight? Just Saturday night, it's got it from basically the Boston area, right?
He's so dejected.
Had nothing to do.
These guys must have just such boring and sad lives. Like, nothing to do on a Saturday night. You're this old and you don't have friends. You don't have hobbies. You don't even have like a video game that you like to play, or a favorite movie that you can watch, a new TV show. Like, there is no shortage of ways to entertain yourself in the 21st century. Even in 2015, I know, it was 11 years ago. But still.
We would just hang out and I was just gonna like drive home later tonight.
You talked, I know in the text there was like some mention of like a marriage contract. I don't know what your,
Oh, the marriage contract.
if it's a religious thing or
Yes.
something else, but what's the deal with the marriage certificate? What was that whole conversation? Or a marriage agreement or a contract you talked about?
I know I was joking at one time when I said, "Is it in the contract?"
I know I was joking one time when I said, is it in the contract? Oh my God, this is just such a stupid way to try to dodge this question. Like, referencing an entirely like different part of the conversation where you mention the thing that you're being accused of. Like, oh, it's no big deal. I just mentioned this thing. But why am I talking about a contract? Like, what contract? You're the one who brought it up.
Mention of like bringing some type, maybe it was in jest, but you mentioned bringing some type of marriage.
That's a good one. That's a good
contract.
technique too. You know, maybe it was in jest. You get them to admit to doing something as a joke, and that's like, sorry, man, you can't even do that as a joke. That's the crime right there.
Or something like that.
No, it wasn't. No, bringing something. No.
Did you mention having her sign it, or you signing it, or both of you signing it? I mean, I can go get the paperwork. It's unfortunately it's an inch thick, but
I love this interrogator. He like finds every opportunity possible to like rub it into Jeff in the most subtle ways, like in the most subtle and professional ways. He finds these jabs and he just with pinpoint precision he hits them.
Conversation about that, was it? I just wanna know.
Yeah, there was conversation. There was conversation about that. I was just explaining to her that people could get married by just signing a contract, signing marriage documents.
But if you're talking about a 12-year-old girl, right? It's kinda,
Yeah.
I think you could
14,
probably even
14,
understand.
but yeah, she said she was 14. But okay,
She was 14?
I know. Yeah.
The classic. The classic. She wasn't 12, she was 14, man, okay? There's a difference. There's a really big difference. Those 2 years, all the difference. Trust me.
So maybe I should get some of the texts, so we're both clear about what age she said she was.
She wasn't 12.
No?
No.
So, I mean,
14.
obviously, this is the technique, one of the techniques the interrogators use to get them to explicitly admit to the age because they want to seem like they're not completely irredeemable people. So they think that 14 sounds better than 12, which, I mean, it does, technically speaking, sound better, but the distinction is irrelevant considering both are completely unacceptable and egregious. I don't want to understate the case.
Is that big of a difference anyways? Like, you're 44?
You're 44. Just the way he states it. See, he makes these little jabs at Jeff so matter of fact that you can't help but just, as Jeff, sit there and take it, because it's completely professional. But just reminding him of his age is just the perfect way to rub it in.
Because neither are legal, you know that,
And,
right? The age of consent is 16, which is, in my mind, yet too young also, but he thought she might be 14.
yeah.
Oh. So these are obviously a copy of some of the text between the two of you. And this, you said you met her, what, give or take 3 weeks ago?
I think so.
You're talking about, blowjobs and oral sex and
Talking about blowjobs and oral sex.
I'm just tell me what's going on in your life that we even have you going down this road. Maybe you've always lived like this, I don't know, but it's of concern obviously to everybody, 44-year-old guy, you're talking about a 12-year-old girl, and in your mind maybe she was 14, but it's certainly illegal and horrible in most people's eyes, right?
And I said that. You could probably read that in there.
And you drive from 2.5 hours away to see this girl.
I didn't think it was against the law to meet with somebody and just hang out and talk to them.
It is after this conversation. That's Chris Hansen's line.
You probably, I don't know.
Is it? Is it?
Oh, Jeff is getting a little heated. He's getting motivated. He thinks he has some ground to stand on here.
It's like hang out with somebody?
To hang out?
If I had sex with her, yeah, that would be against the law, but they didn't
Okay,
do
so
that.
let's just take a step back. So let's just say you never got divorced from your wife, and you had a daughter. You said it was 10 years ago, right? Give or take, you got divorced. So let's just say, as a result of that marriage, you had a daughter or a son who was 10, 12, 13 years old. And it's Friday night, and you and your wife, hey, honey, hey, whatever your daughter's name is, Caitlin, we're gonna run out to dinner and stay out a little bit late. You could stay at home, and you come to find out, they walk in, there's a 44-year-old guy from,
This is
200
perfect.
miles or 100 and something miles
This
away.
is the best possible response you can give to the bullshit when they say, I was just gonna hang out with her. What's wrong with that? This interrogator nails this response. And obviously, like, Chris has used this response and other interrogators have used it, but I don't know if anybody has portrayed the situation in quite as good a way as this one.
Is everybody cool with that? You're cool with that?
Well, obviously, at first, no.
At first, no. At first.
First?
Just
Yeah,
the
when you
first.
first walk in, it's not gonna be cool. But if it was somebody like me, I don't think there's a threat.
So imagine this. This whole scenario plays out. Jeff Sokol comes home and he meets himself. He meets an alternate universe version of himself, like Rick and Morty style. And he's completely fine with it. They shake hands and everything. Oh, that'd be so funny.
But how do they know what your intention is? You're talking about blowjobs and pics.
Yeah, they don't.
Other issues. You're not talking about maybe some common interest of music or sports, which is also, I mean, the whole thing would be weird. I think just what everybody would think. I think you actually would too. It's unhealthy and strange.
Oh, that's such a good strategy. Like, he's just, I mean, he's making Jeff basically admit. He's setting the ground for Jeff to admit that this is wrong. He's prompting him in every possible way to admit that this is wrong. Like, come on, this is wrong. This is wrong.
In common with a 12 or 14-year-old girl. And why, if you lived in a big metropolitan area where you drive whatever the distance was, 2 hours away on a Saturday night.
Isn't that all speculation?
Speculation?
I'm looking at this.
What is this?
You're speculating that I was going to have sex with her tonight.
Because that's what you said.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say that? Well,
No.
tell me what you said.
Well, we talked about having sex, but that doesn't mean...
Isn't that strange?
It doesn't mean I was going to. Tonight.
Well, yeah, tonight, maybe tomorrow.
Why did he add that word? That's so incriminating, though. Like, did he really think that would help him? I wasn't going to have sex with her. Tonight?
Maybe next week.
Maybe when she's 16.
So that,
Maybe when she's 16. Maybe.
Conversation.
I don't know, it might be
Did you
in there.
mention that?
It
Maybe you did.
might be in there. I mean, I mentioned that I was looking... I looked into, like, the laws and stuff about, minors. I was looking into those.
Why would you do that?
Bro's admitting to looking into the laws around minors. Bro, imagine, like, your FBI agent looks at your browsing history and he sees you spent 5 hours on the tab of the state statutes regarding the age of consent. It's like, okay, technically, like, you're not breaking the law, but this is pretty concerning behavior, Jeffrey, that you're writing a whole research article on the age of consent laws.
And, to hang out with them.
So you knew there was an issue.
There was no...
Otherwise you wouldn't research it.
Yeah, but there's an issue if you do this and this and this.
There's an issue if you get caught.
But because, and this is just I was looking, I was just like looking down the road, like, let's say I did
Looking
like her
down
and
the
she
road.
liked me,
So he's scouting prospects very early in their careers. He's like the fucking scout at a middle school football game.
Why not? I mean,
But this is somebody you've never met before.
I know. I was just thinking out loud, looking at the big picture. That's all. Doesn't mean I was going to like do what I was going, what I was.
Is that,
Look, Jeffrey is just considering all of his options. Okay, he doesn't want to leave anything off the table.
is that like your, you know, lack of a better description, like your cup of tea, like you want some very young girlfriend or bride? It's not, is that like some fantasy you have? Which is fine if that's what your fantasy is. I just want to know where you're coming from.
I took a liking to particularly to her, and she happened to be
This is through all, like, you know, chatting or texting, right?
exactly.
Somebody you never even met.
I mean, there is always the question about whether a lot of these guys do have a thing in particular for children, for underage people, for minors, or if they're just so desperate and this is the opportunity that arose. Because the only time a girl would ever willingly talk to them is when she's trying to bait him into getting arrested for breaking the law for meeting up with an underage minor.
Correct.
So for the sake of talking, it could have been, it wasn't, but it could have been me posing as this girl. You wouldn't know who you're talking
Could have
about.
been, yeah. Could have been.
It's not like you saw her or spent time with her.
Well, that's why I came down, is to see if a connection with her. If you, what was your name again?
It's Detective Kelly.
If
Oh,
It-
that was so hardcore, man. He just got mugged. My name is Detective Kelly. Jeff was trying to bait for like a first name to try to like get on good terms with him, and this guy fucking mogs him with, "It's Detective Kelly."
if you read all the text, I don't know if you read all of
I
it.
did not, and I probably can't.
And he
I
doesn't
just
even
right
use his
now,
name
I'm
after
sorry,
that
sorry,
because he
look.
got
Sure.
so mogged.
But if you read a lot of it, the exchanges between me and her, I was always aware and scared of any consequences if I was to do something wrong, like if I was to have sex with her. And to be honest,
I was scared. So, you were scared of the consequences. The consequences to who? Or sorry, to whom? To you or to her? You were scared of the consequences to yourself, Jeff.
yeah, of course, from what I saw, she's, beautiful and everything, but
Bro, you did not have to say that. You did not have to say that. He's giving them everything they want.
I was not going to risk anything by having sex with her. I just wanted to meet her and hang out with her, and I was going to go home.
This is such horrible.
You're gonna meet her, hang out
I
with
can't
her.
trust I can't trust anybody, and obviously,
I wasn't gonna risk it by having sex with her. I
even more
didn't.
so, but
I wasn't gonna not have sex with her because it would have been the wrong thing to do. I wasn't gonna have sex with her because it would have been a risk for me.
How do you think we and she feel?
well, see, I get it. I get it. You guys.
We're trying to protect the innocent and the vulnerable, right?
Yeah, but
Just
Okay,
like when
buddy,
you were in
okay.
that age.
Calm down. Calm down. You're a detective, okay? Sometimes you're trying to protect the innocent and the vulnerable, but a lot of the time that's not what you're doing. Not to be a controversial ACAB over here, but come on.
Age, and I was that age, you wouldn't want some guy, attacking you.
if he's dangerous, yeah, of course not.
Or maybe he just has bad intentions. When you were 12 or 14 years old, if there was some guy in your life, or appeared in your life, who's in his 40s, and is talking about having sex with you and different things.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thought experiment. Like, try to imagine a situation where a 44-year-old meets up to hang out with a 14-year-old. Let's just say she's 14-year-old, and the guy has good intentions. Is there a possible universe in which that could happen? I mean, certainly, obviously, with the preceding text messages, that doesn't. there's no possibility there. But let's assume even that the preceding text messages were completely innocuous. Even if they were talking about common interests, like, is it possible for a 44-year-old man to be friends with a 14-year-old girl? I mean, for that matter, is it possible for a 44-year-old woman to be friends with a 14-year-old girl? Even if there's no sexual attraction at all. That's just such a massive age gap.
Isn't it your parents and the police and the school system's job to kind of protect you from that person? And sometimes if you're not being like totally honest with your parents or, you know, community people, we're the only alternative sometimes we have is to do like sting type operations like this. But we'd never catch anybody. Because you're not going to tell anybody. You're so paranoid about it, you're researching the statutes. Because you know it's wrong. Right?
Right, and when
And I'm
it,
sure
He said right, yeah.
here there's probably conversations with
and then what
a
if,
girl about, you didn't tell anybody about this, right? Or something like that, because you're afraid of and you didn't go when the parents were home. If it's wonderful, then yeah, if your parents are home, that's great. I'd love to meet them. No, your parents aren't home, right? Kind of thing. They're away. They're not coming home. Whatever. You with me?
yeah, I'm with you, yes.
And I think this probably goes back a long time. This did not happen overnight. I'm a little bit older than you. You know, whatever my, you know, makeup is physiologically and emotionally and every other way, it didn't start last week. So you probably have these fantasies, desires, interests, probably your whole life, actually.
So, I mean, this interrogator's doing a great job because he's constantly prompting Jeff to divulge other instances of this behavior by obviously reinforcing this idea that there's something characterologically wrong with Jeff. This was not a one-time thing, right?
Or until you became an adolescent or something.
Fantasies about what?
I'm assuming younger women. And maybe as you got older, like, you wanted to stay in that realm, like, oh, the younger girls, I like them better for whatever reason. You would have to tell me what the attraction is.
It's never happened before, I've never.
But we're talking like 12 years old. It's like
No.
6th, 7th grade.
Crazy, man.
You know what I mean? It's a young human
Why they
being.
keep saying 12.
Well, you want me to use your term and say 14?
I mean, I know they're both young, but it's a little bit, yeah, different.
Is it being a teenager? Is that the big hump that you need to hear? Like, okay, she's a teenager. She's 13, she's not 12. She's 14, she's not 12.
It's 2 years older.
Yeah, still 2 years under the age of majority, right? Certainly not, you know, worldly or mature enough to consent to anything.
That's a great line. Not worldly or mature enough to consent to anything. Yeah. I mean, that's a great way to put it. You know, I mean, what has a 14-year-old really experienced or learned about the world? They don't understand anything.
Right? Doesn't have the legal right to do it, never mind.
I mean, a lot of it's about the ability to understand the long-term consequences of your actions, right? And teenagers don't possess that. I mean, teenagers can do some super impressive shit. Like, you can be really fucking good at chess or math or even science, even fucking writing or poetry. You can be a fucking prodigy at all these things, but you cannot be a prodigy at wisdom when you're a teenager. And a huge part of wisdom is being able to predict the long-term consequences of your and others' actions.
Why? Because they're very young, so they need to be protected.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Why, if you thought I came down there to have sex, why didn't you wait and see if that happened?
Oh my fucking god. How did I forget about this question? Oh my god. Oh my god. The fact that he asks this question is actually mind-boggling.
Why would I want to put that girl that was in the house through any kind of a horrible experience that can get really out of hand really quickly.
Okay, I get
And
you.
no offense,
I got you, but.
there was like
I don't mean having
several
sex.
cops there and other able-bodied guys.
Right.
You'd be in probably some kind of pain at the end of it, because if you got maybe your clothes up and you're trying to grab her, we come in not knowing what you're capable of.
I know.
Why not do it like a
Jeff did not expect the interrogator to shut him down so effectively here. So he's just reeling right now.
much as we can as a gentleman? You're seated. Chris Hansen speaks to you.
He's a
You're
gentleman.
free to go.
No, don't
You
give
know,
him don't give
you were
him
compliant. We were,
the
you know,
benefit of
didn't
that title.
throw you on the ground or anything. We handcuffed you. We brought you in. You know what I mean? Why would you want to take it to another level where it's horrible? And she has to go through that, what, several times because there's several different guys like yourself that are coming to meet her? Would you want to do that to anybody? Like, honestly.
No, I just,
Put her, even the hug. As soon as you got there, you're trying to hug a girl that you've never met.
well, it's, all right, it's natural.
You know.
I don't,
Well, maybe it is. I mean, I understand
Natural.
from your standpoint, you probably want
do that to
but
every
from her
12-year-old I
standpoint,
meet,
you're a
don't
total
I?
stranger, and she's probably a little creeped out by it. You know what I
she
mean?
was
So,
cool with everything, and just wanted to hang out and, you know, have pizza. I mean, I honestly, that's why I was there.
It was a power move, 100%.
I just,
It's the where's my hug guy. I mean, I talk about this in the last video. But you wouldn't even do that on a date with another adult. I mean, I guess you never really have first dates at like someone's house, but and you know what, maybe this varies person to person, but I would not hug a person right upon meeting them on a first date. I would hug them at the end of it.
my
you need to.
my case, okay, for this is obviously there's a lot of text there,
Yeah.
but
There's a lot of text there. Don't read it though.
there's
It's not important.
I was trying to do things or you know, make it so I wasn't breaking the law. If I
I was
decided
trying to do
at
things.
some point that I wanted to you
Or
know,
not do
have
things.
any relations with her, you know, I was trying to make sure that it was legal. Otherwise, I wasn't going to do anything.
I'll explain that a little bit.
If
Now he has to
you know,
back up his
came
bullshit.
down and I liked her, she liked me, and
Right.
she was cool, and I didn't feel like she was, you know, too immature or too young or too, you know, the same. If I felt like I was on the same, you know, level as her, like,
Levels.
you know, emotionally and whatnot. I mean, I wanted to.
Yes, you are. You are on the emotional level of a 12-year-old. I will give you that, Jeff.
You know, I didn't want to do anything that was breaking the law. So that's why I researched that stuff. I would never, I mean, that's like ridiculous that you guys thought that I would bring a contract down.
Well, no, we were going, I believe, through your
You're
texting.
interpreting,
I don't know.
you're interpreting it, but I mean,
Well,
it's not-
maybe we
I'm
are.
interpreting
I don't know, but I also
Yes,
see
I
that
am
you're
interpreting it. I'm interpreting it in the sense that I understand the meaning of the English written language. That is the sense in which I'm interpreting it.
mentioning that a 44-year-old guy shouldn't be talking to a 13-year-old girl like this.
right, and so
That's
I
your,
felt
your,
guilty
your,
about it,
your
yeah.
language, not mine.
I felt guilty about it, yeah.
And you think you might be on the same wavelength as her?
It's
Maybe.
funny if, you know, young people are seeing TV that are pretty
Maybe.
smart, pretty mature.
13.
They're out there, yeah.
No, there might be, I don't know, there could be a couple out there, I think, either they could be mature, but maybe they look like a little kid, or they
Why does everything
could
have
look
to-
older, but they're very immature. It's,
See, I don't
there's a
understand.
reason these laws are in place, right? I mean, to protect people.
Right, and I said that to her.
Which, meaning what? But I'm still, you kind of expounded on it before, but you're like, oh, I want to do things with her, so in case I did have feelings for her and I liked her, like it would be legal. I don't know what that means. She's still, let's just say 13, because you mentioned 13 right here. So how does that still make it legal?
I don't know, she said she was turning 14, but okay. How does it make what legal?
You just said that. How would it make it okay if you're going to do things with her and she's 13? and you ultimately had relations with her,
It
with
would.
intercourse, how does it make it legal?
It wouldn't unless her mom consented to marriage. It's the only way it would be legal.
So you're gonna marry a 13-year-old girl with her mother's permission?
Maybe when she's 16, I would do that.
Maybe when she's 16.
Why is that like so hard to believe?
Oh my God. Okay, so this is the most telling moment in this whole interrogation. How is that so hard to believe? I mean, Jeff might possibly genuinely think that like all men are creepy, gross predators who want nothing more than to get off. And if that happens to mean that they have to be with a minor, then so be it. I mean, he genuinely thinks, possibly genuinely thinks that all men are like that. So he thinks the interrogator will just understand what he's sympathizing with here.
Why is it hard to believe?
Yeah, that could happen.
I can't say I've even ever heard of it. Actually,
If I wanted to like
maybe in other countries it happens.
wanted to not break the law, that's what I would have to do.
You would marry her
I
now.
haven't
You're
broken the law.
44. She's 13.
Yeah, I haven't broken the law. I mean, so that's the thing. It's all like you're speculating what I was going to do based on
Okay.
conversations.
You also drove here. You didn't just like have chats, which are bad enough.
So what?
You actually drove
I
2
drove.
hours. You're like basically my age. You drove 2 hours to meet a girl. Most guys.
Right, you're putting it all together, right? Most guys would.
Most
Yeah,
guys-
yes, yes, he is putting it all together. That means he's figured it out, Jeff.
Most guys younger than us, our age, older than us, if given the opportunity,
Right.
they might get in the car on a Saturday night and drive 2 hours if they think they're going to find, something that feels good at the end of the rainbow. But again,
Something that feels good at the end of the rainbow. I'm going to start using that from now on. When, I'm going to say, tonight I really would love to feel something good at the end of the rainbow.
they're just going to do it to maybe meet somebody.
Most guys? So you're saying most guys, so it's like
You're driving from Boston.
you're saying most guys.
Right.
That's not
I'm not like most guys. Detective Kelly.
Who are you? Tell me who you are. Because based on the text and the behavior you exhibited, I'd say you fit right in there. You just happen to like them much younger than what's normal.
maybe
Or illegal. for
maybe
that
I
matter.
enjoy just talking about it. I don't know. I mean,
Just
With a 12 or 13-year-old girl.
14. 14.
That's a problem.
Detective.
I don't know you. I never saw you before in my life. That's a major league problem.
Didn't seem like it.
Didn't seem like what?
Just seemed more mature than that. More than
Compared to what? Like a 28-year-old woman, like a 22-year-old girl? You're talking about a 12 or 13-year-old girl. And she's what, acting like she's 18? Yeah, so what? She still tells you she's 13 years old. You're 44. I mean, seriously, that's a major league problem.
According to the law, it is.
But according to what, you, it's
In my
not?
head, in my head.
In your head?
Knowing what
According
I
to
was
my
doing
head, the source is my head. This is not a problem. Trust me.
before, knowing that I was not dangerous, that I was not a threat to her, that I was not planning on having
This
sex.
is always such an interesting justification they use. Like, I didn't do anything wrong because I knew I wasn't going to do anything wrong. Completely unfalsifiable defense.
Not planning on having sex. What if you just happen to meet a girl that is like, you know what, for whatever reason, she's only 12 or 13, but man, she's a pistol, and she's all over you. What are you going to do, push her away?
Yeah, if I know I can go to jail.
That's an interesting choice of words there from the detective.
You would.
Oh, yes.
And why did you bring the Cialis?
You know what? That was in my car.
I don't care where it was. It was in your pocket
Are
when I
you-
found it.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave it in the car.
And I said, what's in here? Just I believe it said like CVS, either ibuprofen or something like that. You're like, yeah, that's all it is. And then we researched it, and it's just,
Right,
yeah, let's
right.
go.
Sorry, I
So
just.
you're not even,
Sorry.
like, why don't you tell me the truth?
I just
feel
got
we're gonna figure it out.
handcuffed. I just got handcuffed. I don't even remember answering you, to be honest with you.
But no big deal, but it's not like you had some other medicine, like, I don't even pick it out of the top of my head, that's like completely unrelated to any kind of sexual interlude. This is like right up that alley, right? It's, correct?
It's
So
something.
the chat, the
it's something
drive,
that
the
I always
Cialis,
Yeah, no.
the fact that for some reason you think that this is like some innocent meeting between a mature 12-year-old and you.
I carry the Cialis around. I just do. And, sometimes I leave it in my car, and I just didn't want to leave it in the car.
Doesn't it belong in a prescription bottle?
No.
It doesn't?
No, that's smaller. I usually carry, I have other pills too that I put in there.
Alright. You don't see a problem with any of this, like, honestly?
I didn't say that.
Well, so you see a problem with it?
I see a potential problem.
Do you have like nieces, nephews, whoever in your life?
Potential problem. The only potential problem is Jeff getting caught. That's the only potential problem.
Family?
Yep.
I don't know their ages, but maybe some are around her age.
Honestly, Detective, I did not think I was breaking the law to come meet a girl. I honestly didn't. If you read the whole text, read everything, you can see how scared I was to meet her. Just
Listen,
just the whole scared of the whole situation.
You're-
But
you're scared of her for basically one reason, and the reason is that your clear intention was to have sex with her. Because if it
Yes,
truly
thank you.
was just to meet
Such a good
somebody,
response.
you wouldn't even be nervous about it. You'd be like, screw it. I have no interest in having
Well,
sex with this
it's
girl.
it's a
I'm just
situation.
chatting. My right hand to God, and I'll swear to the parents, and they could be home for that matter. I'd love to meet them too. And my intention
It's just such a funny situation to imagine. Like Jeff Sokol meeting the parents of this girl. Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
intentions are pure. Your intentions were not pure. That's why you had the reservations you had, right?
it was a new situation too, and never done it before. So yeah.
But you're 44 and
I
she's
also know
12,
that-
13.
that there's all these laws about
Thank God there are, right?
about minors.
What if there weren't?
Listen, I know what I'm capable of.
Right.
Okay?
Nothing. I am capable of nothing. And that's the reason that I'm innocent.
Yeah.
And I know you think that I'm bullshitting you.
No, you're trying to like kind of massage the corners, but do I think you're realizing and being honest with yourself and with me about what you did? No, I don't actually. But I mean, you're talking about it, and I appreciate that, but you're not.
Just because
If you truly looked in the mirror and thought about what's going on or what you did tonight,
that's just because I don't feel like I did anything wrong.
well, if you want to keep it in the straight and narrow and just say, all I did was come here and bring her a pizza. Yeah, I mean, any uncle, any neighbor, any guy could certainly do that, any softball coach, whatever, as long as it's kind of like, the parents know there's nothing creepy going on. Yeah, in and of itself, is that fine? Sure. But if that softball coach or whoever it may be is texting all kinds of things about having sex with the girl and her pussy and and send me a pic and everything else, and you're only 13 and I'm 44, and then you research the statutes and you drive 2 hours on a Saturday night and you bring Cialis with you, and there's a reference of a marriage contract because that'll somehow make it legal. It's fucked up. Honestly, like, be honest with yourself. You don't have, you can try to bullshit me all day long. It doesn't really matter to me. Most of the people that I talk to aren't exactly honest. But if you ever want to get well and maybe get past this point in your life and not be back here sometime in the future, or somewhere else for that matter, or in a bad place,
I agree, it's not something that
like
I should
seriously.
be doing, and I said that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the closest to an admission we get. Closest to a self-reflective, introspective, emotionally intelligent, self-aware person that we get. Okay, I've been talking too long. I need to end this. I'm super tired too. So this is part 1 of 3.